Back to Journalist Hangout on Sunday, and I've been speaking with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Adewale Adeoye. Gentlemen, let's move on to another very interesting story. Nigeria's losses through emigration and brain drain are other countries' gains through visa fees and others. The British government is reported to have earned more than 40 billion naira in processing visas for Nigerians between June 2023 and June 2024. Speaking at the launch of Africa's biggest UK visa application center in Lagos, the Director of Visa Status and Information Services at UK Visas and Immigration, Mark Owen, said at least 225,000 UK visa applications from Nigeria are processed in the period under review. Although Owen did not reveal the exact figures of visa applications, an analysis using the UK 6-month standard visa fee of $150 against the 225,000 Nigerians cited at the least figure shows that UK realized more than $34 million from visa processing. Is this figure real?
Of course, I think the figure is real. But we are not talking of total investment in, of Nigerians. Because if you are trying to get a visa, for instance, let's say you live in Port Harcourt, and you want to get the British visa in Lagos, you need to travel all the way from Port Harcourt, include your accommodation, transportation, and other things. So if you are adding all that, the figure is more than this. But we are just talking about the amount of money that goes into the coffers of Britain. And I think we may not be able to resolve this problem as long as the conditions and situations at home, our subjective conditions here, economic situations are not improved. And why are people targeting United Kingdom? There is an historical relationship between UK and Nigeria. Apart from the colonial ties, Nigerians have been going to UK since 1800. There are some families that have been going there since, over 200 years, who have families, relations there. So, and also, London is the financial headquarters of the world. So, any business you want to do and all that, you have to connect with London. So I think the major factor is the conditions we're having in our country today, that people are finding it very difficult to survive for economic reasons and also for social security. So people are migrating for economic reasons, mainly economic reasons, to anywhere that is available for them. I believe that if Britain wants to grant visa to everyone, in fact, you find a situation where over 1 million people will be traveling to UK every year. Now we are having about between 250 to 300,000 Nigerians living in the UK. In US, about 500,000. In Canada, over 100,000. That's people that were that have been given visa. So more people will go into these countries for economic reasons. And it's unfortunate that some 200, 300 years ago, when Britain came here to take our people for slavery, people didn't want to go. They were compelled. They had to use padlock, chains to drag them to leave their fatherland. But now we are the one begging to go back to that same country. That means that the conditions that people were living here in those days was more comfortable for them. Even when some of them traveled, of course, there was some level of feeding, freedom of life and access to food and all that. But today, if you bring a plane and say come and go to London, even professors will battle that. Look, I don't mind any job that's available. I'm going to Britain to go and do. So it's a continuation of neocolonialism that even though we seem to have attained our independence in 1960, in terms of economic freedom, we are still enslaved. And it boils down to leadership. I believe that with the correct leadership in the next few years, British people can be struggling to come here if we do things right. In the 60s, 50s, there were Indians working here in our secondary schools as teachers. In the 80s, I was taught by Indians who are teachers. Ghanaians were flooding to Nigeria. So if we had the right leadership, Nigerians would be less desperate to go to UK, and they would prefer to stay in their own country. But as it is now, more people want to leave. Unfortunately, we are losing our human capital, doctors, pharmacists, lawyers. But with good government, I believe we can reverse the current situation to our own advantage.
Mikhail, 40 billion naira, 40 billion naira is a lot of money to be made in a year in a country, from one country.
Yes, it's a lot of money, but there are more Indians in the UK. There are more Chinese, There are so many. I just returned from the UK. Asians, Arabs, there are so many. So it's not economic migration is not limited to Nigeria. Americans are going to learn how to speak Chinese language so that they can work in China. Mm. The economic migration is a global phenomenon. Egypt has not been able to stop doctors that they produce from traveling abroad. They came up with a law that you must work for 3 years in a public hospital before you can jabber in Egypt, because it has become a problem for them. That more and more Egypt-trained doctors are going to Dubai, are going to Qatar, they are going to the UK. When we're talking about diaspora remittances, India is far ahead of Nigeria. Pakistan is also ahead. So there are a lot of our own doctors are leaving. Mm. But when you go to UK, there are more Indian doctors who are practicing there, more Asian doctors. Our people, I think that, yes, it's important to build a nation that works for everyone. It's important for the quality of leadership to improve. But it won't stop economic migration. It won't stop it. It won't stop it. If it couldn't stop, because if those Asians, if they have them, so many in the UK, you are even walking on the street, you see them. Yet, those are countries better run than Nigeria. But there are people will sometimes think, okay, this place is best for me. Let me go and start living my life in this place. I believe this place is good for me, and a lot of them. But once their weather is really not good at this time, and a lot of people are leaving, they will be back when it gets warmer. Many Nigerians who had been, some of them born in the UK, they are coming home now on holidays, but they will go back and continue to enjoy their lives. Many of them don't feel like coming back. But Nigeria is such a beautiful place.
Absolutely,
because
I
you see, if people have a choice, like Wale said, if people have a choice, frankly, they won't leave. Mm-hmm. A lot of people who have left is because they didn't have a choice, and if they have the opportunity, they want to come back. I spoke with a number of people in London who are telling me, look, there is no better place than Nigeria. They spend a lot of what they earn, go to paying taxes and all that. It's not a place where government will allow you to get away with not paying taxes. They take defaulting in tax payments seriously. And I was telling someone, in the UK, petrol is far costlier than it is in Nigeria. But people will move around. And they believe that the future will be better. It's unfortunate that they are making this kind of money off the Nigerian people. And usually when you processing your visa, the processing fee is non-refundable. So whether you succeed or you don't succeed, the money is gone.
Well, Vicky, that report also talked about the high rate of rejection in the period under review, considering the strong bilateral relations between both countries.
You see, the Britons, the Americans, they believe that they've been too wide open for years, and they are not prepared now. One of the reasons Trump thoroughly overwhelmed Kamala Harris was the way Trump played the immigration card. Many of these people believe that the immigration laws must be tighter, because they don't like the way people are coming into their country. And some of the people coming into their country do not like them. They want to impose their own ideas on them. Some of them are terrorists, coming in as tourists and all that. So they are worried. It's every country now. It's an emotive thing. The matter of immigration is an emotive thing. So a government that would make it more difficult for people to stream into their country, they are going to support that kind of government. If a candidate promises to do that, and they are confident that he has the political will to do it, they are going to vote for that kind of candidate. And that's why you saw Trump played on it. A lot of people, do you know that many Americans rated immigration higher than economy in this election? We were asked questions, a lot of them said, look, in this election, the issue that bothers me is immigration. They are not bothered by this safe abortion, or was the abortion rights and all that Kamala Harris spent so much time talking about. So as they are concerned, immigration laws have to be tightened, and a lot of them thought that Trump would do it. So we may have a charming relationship with Britain, we may have a charming relationship with America. It doesn't mean that they are going to leave their borders wide open for people to just stream in, because it will cause problems for them in the end. You need infrastructure to accommodate the swelling population. I could see how they are struggling in the UK. Transportation hiccups. Yet in the UK, over the years, they've remained the best organized when it comes to transportation. But the roads are narrower. They are coming up with congestion, tax and all that, so that people will keep their cars at home. But in spite of that, the roads are jammed. Once it's close of work, you see long, traffic. Because more and more people are coming into the country. They have to find a way to strike a balance.
All right, gentlemen, let's move on quickly. It is said that every day is for the thief, but just one day is for the owner. And the bubble will burst. So it has been for pro-Biafran agitator Simon Ekpa, who was arrested in Finland for